Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 scariest amusement park rides. For this list, we'll be ranking the most thrilling, wildest, or death-defying amusement park rides that made our collective hearts pound and pulses race. Have you ridden any of these rides? All of these rides? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Millennium Force, Cedar Point Amusement Park, Sandusky, Ohio. The Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio may have shut down the popular Top Thrill dragster coaster back in 2022, but that doesn't mean they were left bereft of options. That's because the Millennium Force coaster is more than an admirable replacement. This must-ride coaster debuted back in 2000 and gained notoriety back then as the first giga coaster, i.e. one that reaches a height or features a drop of at least 300 feet. Beyond this frightening fall, the Millennium Force also reaches nearly 100 miles per hour at top speed, proving why it's remained such an enduring ride at Cedar Point. Number 19, Superman the Ride, Six Flags New England, Agawam, Massachusetts. This ride at Six Flags New England has been called Bizarro, Superman Ride of Steel, and simply Superman the Ride. But whatever the name, it remains a major destination for many park visitors. That's because this DC Comics-based coaster has consistently thrilled patrons, with its top speeds exceeding 70 miles per hour. Additionally, Superman the Ride has employed various visual gimmicks over the years, including virtual reality and effects that once mimicked Bizarro's S-Shield. Superman the Ride has even managed to survive controversy, such as the tragic death of one man back in 2004, due to being improperly secured in his seat. Number 18, The Smiler, Alton Towers, Staffordshire, UK. So you say you want inversions, do you, oh intrepid coaster enthusiast? The Smiler has got your inversions, 14 of them to be exact, enough for this UK-based coaster to hold a world record. These death-defying maneuvers include various corkscrews, dives, and loops, yet this level of maniac construction has not gone without incident. In fact, the Smiler has unfortunately been the site of a few accidents, some of them serious. One crash from June 2nd, 2015 required 2 riders to have their legs partially amputated after the car they were riding in collided with an empty train.
You know, those 2 cars should not have been on the same piece of track. Technically, that should not have happened.
Still, the Smiler continues to operate today, daring only the bravest to step in and try their luck. Number 17, Fahrenheit, Hershey Park, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Visitors to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania have grown to expect thrilling and unique rides over the years. The Fahrenheit coaster is one of the most impressive, however, thanks to some pretty insane design features. For starters, the coaster's first drop is an astonishing 97 degrees, which looks dangerous even from those safely on the ground. But wait, there's more. Fahrenheit is also notable for featuring a double inversion that's also known as a Norwegian loop, not to mention 4 other inversions throughout its race time. This alone is enough to make us queasy, but for true coaster junkies, it's probably only an appetizer. Number 16, The Slingshot, Magical Midway, Orlando, Florida. Here's a question, what would you rather endure? An agonizing wait for a blink and you miss it thrill, or a quick and frightening jump right into the fire? There's room for both when it comes to the world of scary amusement park rides, and that's where the Slingshot comes into play. The theme of the Slingshot is an active volcano where riders are lowered slowly into the smoky and magma-filled depths of the ride. Then, seemingly without warning, those same riders are launched into the air with lightning-quick speed. It's that initial and sudden shock that seems to get riders every time, while the subsequent freefall appears more controlled and relaxed. Still, the slingshot seems like one heck of a rush.
Take me down! Take me down!
Number 15, Storm Runner, Hershey Park, Hershey, Pennsylvania. We return to Hershey Park for our next ride, a thrilling roller coaster that goes by the name of Storm Runner. The ride, like many of its most popular brethren, was developed by the Swiss company Intamin. Storm Runner was manufactured by Intamin to be a launched roller coaster, meaning that it uses some form of hydraulic or pneumatic power to achieve acceleration levels far faster than the average coaster. As a result, Storm Runner can launch riders from 0 to 72 miles per hour in just about 2 seconds. If that doesn't sound scary enough, the coaster also boasts massive height and 3 inversions to make this roller ride a true exercise in excess. Number 14, Steel Dragon 2000, Nagashima Spa Land, Mie Prefecture, Japan. Japan's Nagashima Spa Land wasn't messing around when they unveiled the Steel Dragon 2000 back in, you guessed it, the turn of the millennium. This roller coaster was a beast, proudly smashing world records with its length and top speeds, which approach 100 miles per hour. Additionally, one of the Steel Dragon's hills is over 300 feet tall, while one of its drops is of a similar stature. So basically what we have here is an insanely fast, insanely tall roller coaster that lasts for an insanely long time and drives you absolutely insane. Check. Got it. We're not sure if we have the guts for this one. Do you? Number 13, Takabisha, Fuji Q Highland Theme Park, Fuji Yoshida, Yamanashi, Japan. We're sticking with Japan for the time being with the Takabisha roller coaster over at Fuji Q Highland Theme Park. You know that famous trope in saying it's not the fall that kills you but the sudden stop? Well, apparently no one that's ever said that bothered to ride Takabisha because this bad Larry boasts an astonishing and at one time record-breaking 121-degree drop. The fear from that alone is enough to give us pause, but Takabisha doesn't stop there, mind. The coaster also throws in corkscrews, loops, and dark drops for good measure, hanging its proverbial hat on the fact that this coaster means business. Number 12, Spin Dizzy, Diggerland, United Kingdom, and West Berlin, New Jersey. Well, it just sort of says what to expect right on the tin, doesn't it? The Spin Dizzy ride over at the UK's Diggerland franchise of theme parks certainly possesses a unique charm. Essentially, it's just taking a ride inside an excavator. However, it's also the sort of experience that's not for the faint of heart. Specifically, it's all about the seemingly endless spins and velocity that makes Spin Dizzy so scary for those wary of this kind of experience. First-person POV videos of riders experiencing Spin Dizzy for themselves just sort of say it all, really. Number 11, SkyCircle, Brazilian Washuzan Highland Park, Kurashaki, Okayama, Japan. Full disclosure, the Brazilian Washuzan Highland Park is not a well-maintained amusement park. As a result, its rusty rides and dilapidated structures tend to feel more into urban explorer circles, despite the park continuing to be in operation. However, true thrill seekers, or those simply looking to stare death in the face and spit, are advised to check out the SkyCircle. What is the SkyCircle, you may ask? Well, how about a pedal-powered ride way up in the clouds that essentially only straps you in with a belt and dares you to cycle, like fabled Icarus into the sun? It's the sort of idea that honestly sounds crazy, because it is, but it is indeed an option for anyone brave enough to step up. Number 10, Colossus, Thorpe Park, Surrey, England. We mentioned earlier how the Smiler held the world's record for most roller coaster inversions. Well, this was the ride that formerly held that title. Colossus, located at Thorpe Park in Surrey, England. This coaster boasted 10 of these nausea-inducing inversions, with various loops, rolls, and corkscrews making Colossus one wild ride. There actually was some controversy with the initial design, thanks to manufacturing that allowed for riders to have their legs free outside the car while it was in motion. This was later fixed, but Colossus remains an intense thrill ride for just about anyone. Number 9. Superman Escape from Krypton, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Valencia, California. Oh, you thought that Superman the Ride over in Massachusetts was the only killer coaster to bear the Man of Steel moniker? Think again, because the west coast of the United States has their own competitor for the DC amusement ride crown, and it's called Superman Escape from Krypton. The ride, located at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, tops 100 miles per hour and was once the tallest coaster in the world at an astonishing 415 feet. The motorized system on Superman Escape from Krypton propels riders with immense power, while the reverse freefall provides those heart-in-your-throat moments thrill seekers often crave. Basically, you feel like you are Superman in this one, or at least flying the skies like him anyway. Number 8. X-Scream, the Strat Hotel, Casino and Sky Pod, Las Vegas, Nevada. The idea behind the X-Scream ride over at the Strat Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas is nothing if not unique. It basically just sets up riders in a bare-bones structure, sort of like a seesaw. The only thing is, this seesaw is sitting on top of the Strat, way high up there in the air. Riders are then propelled back and forth at this great height with sharp brakes at either end. It creates this sense of hurtling oneself off of a building, free-falling into the air, except X-Scream eliminates that whole sharp sudden stop thing, and instead leaves riders feeling absolutely exhilarated, if a little shaky. Number 7. Giant Canyon Swing, Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. The overall effect of the Giant Canyon Swing over at Colorado's Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park is similar to that of the X-Scream. This is because there's a similar feeling of freefall as you glance out over a seriously impressive view. The Giant Canyon Swing is a bit different, however, as the speed and velocity gradually increases over the beautiful Colorado skyline. Riders are taken to an almost vertical point while being seated in the swing, all the while moving at nearly 50 miles per hour. It's enough to give practically anyone a stomachache, and not for those who become dizzy easily. Number 6. Kingda Ka, Six Flags Great Adventure, Jackson, New Jersey. Does the idea of being dropped from over 400 feet appeal to you? Then why not take a chance with the Kingda Ka coaster over at Six Flags Great Adventure, New Jersey? This immense drop is why Kingda Ka is labeled a strata coaster, actually only the second of its kind built in the world. Kingda Ka even provides the momentary feeling of weightlessness for its riders as it's winding down thanks to an airtime hill during its final descent. Elsewhere, Kingda Ka can propel riders to 128 miles per hour in under 5 seconds, making this coaster a challenge only for the bravest and boldest. Number 5. X2, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Valencia, California. It's frightening enough for many of the more, let's say, grounded among us to even contemplate the idea of riding even a basic and bare-bones roller coaster. How then are we to wrap our collective heads around the X2 located at Six Flags Magic Mountain? This demonically constructed coaster was the first to utilize fourth dimension technology to enable the seats to rotate while the ride is in motion. So if you were previously comforted by gripping that handlebar with the sort of white-knuckled intensity reserved for an action movie, forget it. X2 is out to spin you silly, and it even adds flamethrowers for good measure. Yikes. Number 4. Ejinika, Fuji Q Highland, Fuji Yoshida, Yamanashi, Japan. The Ejinika ride over at Fuji Q Highland theme park is another fourth dimension roller coaster, but it also boasts another seriously scary moniker, a hypercoaster. This term has been loosely applied to coasters boasting heights or drops from over 200 feet, but we have a better word to describe the Ejinika: terrifying. This is because not only does this coaster ride boast normal inversions, it also includes over 10 inversions of the actual seats. Meanwhile, the Egenica bests the aforementioned X2 in every respect, from heightened speed to length, creating the sort of crazy experience that honestly feels otherworldly. Number 3. Ferris wheel. Fun park. Kathmandu, Nepal. There's a definite disconnect between the phrase fun park and the Ferris wheel located at this Nepalese amusement center. That's because tourists that have decided to take a ride on this otherwise innocuous-looking Ferris wheel were in for one heck of a surprise. Nicknamed the Ferris wheel of misfortune by sources such as CNN, it doesn't play around when it comes to the throttle. Maybe that's why riders are so scared, because the traditional Ferris wheel experience is supposed to be relaxed and romantic. Instead, any ideas about holding hands or kissing are tossed out the window as the fun park's Ferris wheel amps up the speed. The only thing you'll be holding is the safety bar, for dear life. Number 2. Insanity. The Strat Hotel, Casino, and Skypod, Las Vegas, Nevada. The color scheme of the Insanity ride may be a pleasantly colorful green and purple, but that's where the good vibes essentially stop. That's because Insanity is a practically diabolical ride designed only for the most fearless daredevils. The premise is simple. Place riders in a giant crane-like structure and suspend them over the Vegas skyline. It's a gorgeous view at first, until Insanity starts spinning and spinning and spinning some more, to the point where passengers achieve 3G status. Just check some of the brave first-person YouTube videos for proof. Those screams of fear are definitely real, and that wind is whipping.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Formula Rossa, Ferrari World, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. We've covered a lot of fast roller coasters on this list, but like the movie Highlander said,
there can be only one.
The fastest roller coaster in the world. And that honor belongs to Formula Rossa in the United Arab Emirates.
Formula Rossa. This thing here goes 240 kilometers an hour.
This attraction at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi reaches a top speed just shy of 150 miles per hour, moving so fast that riders are required to wear protective gear to shield their eyes. Speed is clearly king here, to the point where riders reach over 4 Gs throughout the ride. At that point, who even cares about inversions or loops? It's scary enough to travel that fast for so long. Do you dare take this Formula Rossa for a test drive?
Are those tears?
Yeah, tears of joy.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.